Welcome back to TRT World. Here's a reminder of our top story. Leaders of the world's largest economies are meeting at the G20 Summit in Osaka, Japan. The global economy, trade, and investment are on the agenda, and several important bilateral meetings are also expected to take place on the sidelines of the two-day event. Well, for more on the story, we're joined by Dr. Nancy Snow. She's a professor of public diplomacy at Kyoto University of Foreign Studies. Thank you for coming on the show. Now, when you look at the G20, this is a group that accounts for 85% of the world's GDP and about two-thirds of its population. But is it as effective as it is representative?
I think it's effective if they can have some agreement and some cooperation come out of this. I know Japan, as the chair of the summit, would like things to go well, would like an easing of tension, particularly related to the quote-unquote trade wars. There are a lot of sideline meetings that take place. We just saw the photo op, but there's a lot more behind the scenes dinners and discussions, and there's also, of course, competition amongst the leaders. Even where people stand on that stage is notable. I've been monitoring the Twitter. Arabia's Ministry of Foreign Affairs has really been tweeting a lot more than any other country, as far as I can see right now.
Mm-hmm. And do you expect anything important, sort of groundbreaking, to come out of this summit in Osaka?
Well, not so much big news, groundbreaking. If you recall, 20 years ago, this really came out of or resulted from the Asian financial crisis. It was a meeting of finance ministers and central bank governors. Now it's become a big to-do. It's almost like a political Olympics. This is Japan's coming out party with the world leaders just over a year from Tokyo 2020 Summer Olympics. And there's very tight security here because of all these leaders present. I, for one, am very curious what will come out of the Putin-Trump meeting today, as well as the meeting with Xi Jinping and Trump tomorrow. So Trump is really a central figure here because he's so close to Abe Shinzo as well.
Mm-hmm. And just to remind our viewers, we just gave pictures of that. The Donald Trump, Vladimir Putin meeting is currently underway. We just talked to our correspondents. But coming back to what you were saying in terms of the history of this meeting, it started out with the Asian crisis, sort of came onto global prominence with the 2008 global crisis. You talked about the members, trade being an important issue, competition between the countries being an important issue. But what about other issues that are sort of the pressing issues of our time? The climate crisis, or a country that's not even involved in this, sort of reducing the tensions between the United States and Iran, because every country in the G20 has some sort of an interest in this.
Well, that's really the story here, is who is not on the stage with these other leaders. And climate, the environment are really big issues. When you look at world public opinion, especially amongst young people, they really want something done on the environment. It's hard to get as excited about trade or just growing the global economy. And it'll be interesting to see. There were a few protesters, but it seems like they've been kept at bay. In part, it's because the weather was bad, especially yesterday. But I would anticipate that they're going to try to integrate the economy with environmental issues. Japan is really taking the lead now on trying to clean up the oceans, or it wants to. Keep in mind, this is all voluntary, so there's really nothing set in stone. But this is what Japan is proposing, is that it would try to clean up the oceans and get the other countries on board with a kind of more of a smart plastics approach.
Mm-hmm. All right. Dr. Nancy Snow, thank you for your analysis. I appreciate it.